designed to circumvent the Quran so they could do things they wanted to do and not what Allah wanted them to do. That's why I wanted to come on and explain myself. I pray anytime, any way. I just talk to Allah. Simple prayer. Dua, they call it. When you call to Allah and you talk to Him, that's it. That's prayer. This salah is not prayer. Salah is establishment of the ways of Allah that are taught in the Quran. It's not prayer. That's my understanding anyway. Mic is free.
Well, obviously you do not know Arabic because the word salah is the only one mean prayer. The word dua is request. It's not a prayer. Secondly, you said the way in the Quran. So I'm asking you about the way in the Quran. How many prayer in the Quran? How many prayer in the Quran? Which is salat. Salat is a prayer. Don't teach me Arabic. This is my first language. So how many prayer? No, salat is not an. It's not? Okay, prove me wrong. Open your Quran and show me that salat doesn't mean a prayer. You're mine.
If I wasn't in my car waiting to pick up somebody, I would get out a Quran for you and show you as per my understanding. But the Quran gives you every example of everything. And show me an example of the word salah described as prayer in the Quran. You will not find that. Dua will show you example after example of a prayer, of what it means to call to Allah, talk to Allah, ask Allah, praise Allah, thank Allah, etc., etc. All those examples are given as dua. Salah, you will not find anywhere explaining the word salah as prayer. You will find an example given where it shows to follow something and to turn away from following something. That is salah, to follow something closely. So when you establish salah, you establish the following of Allah's commands, the establishment of Allah's rules, the way to live your life. That's what I understand. And I have looked at the Arabic, looked at the lexicons, looked at all that. The Quran is self-explanatory. I don't need to go outside the Quran. I look for the answers inside the Quran. And that's what I've found so far. But if you want to believe the other way, that's on you, brother. By you believing that that's what that is, that all complies to your argument against Islam. And that's okay, because that's what you've got to work with. And that's what you want to have. But I don't see Islam as a religion. I see Islam as a way of life. I don't think it was ever meant to be a religion, nor do I think Christianity was ever supposed to be a religion, nor do I think Judaism was ever supposed to be a religion. They were all brought to us originally as a proper way to live our lives, so that we believe in God, we do good, and we're charitable. That we're all working towards the utopic society that's always helping itself and supporting itself, etc., etc. But man has turned it into a religion because he wanted to do things outside of what God's message was for us, what God's design was for us. He wanted to go beyond that because he didn't want to follow that. So he tried to change it by circumventing it and creating laws and ways and ideas outside of what was originally brought to the people.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Right.
Mike's free.
You know, I'm really wondering what kind of Muslim you are. You are not a Muslim. You have nothing to do with Islam. First, you are saying that the word salat does not mean a prayer. And you are saying me, show me where in the Quran it says that. There's tons of verses, and obviously you never read the Quran, and maybe you are reading Mickey Mouse book. If you go as an example to chapter 2, verse number 238, it says, حافظوا على الصلوات والصلاة الوسطى. Keep the prayers and the middle one specifically. Al-Wusta. When the Wusta one is in the noon time. So don't tell me, and then stand up and be patient. And he's ordering you to bow down when you pray. So obviously you are manipulating things and you are coming with a new religion. I don't know what your religion is, but obviously it's not Islam. This is not Islam. This is just false philosophy you are coming with. So it says it clearly. It doesn't matter what translation, by the way, you take, because you are reading Quran in English, right? So it doesn't matter what translation you read. You will say it says salat means prayer, especially the middle one. And I can show you tons of verses, not limited to this one, but this is just one of them. And those who say like the word وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةِ exist all over the Quran, and the one who established the prayer, and the prayer even have timing. And even the Quran says, as an example, actually what I will show you, it's endless, you know, like what this guy is talking about. As an example, in chapter 2, verse number 43, it says, وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَارْكَعُوا مَعَ الرَّاكِعِينَ. And we establish the prayer and pay the zakat and bow down with those who bow down. What establish of the way of Allah? Where do you get the way of Allah from? Where do you get that word, the way of Allah? What is that word? You want to tell me that the word salat means the way of Allah? That what's mean? Okay. So the Quran says, Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. So what the way of Allah? Now let us change the word yusallun with the way of Allah. Allah and His angels, they are doing salat on the Prophet. So Allah and angels, they are doing the way of Allah and the Prophet. And all Muslims, they translate it as a prayer except Your Majesty. I don't know what is your religion. You claim to be a Muslim, but I have no idea what is that. Obviously, you are not a Muslim. I don't know what like Islam like a duck. Every day there's a new sect. There's tons of verses. What about the Quran says you establish the prayer in the two end of the day and the middle one. Two end of the day and the middle one. Why the Quran says that? وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ طَرَفَيَ النَّهَارَ وَزُلْفَ مِنَ اللَّيْلِ. And establish the prayer at the two end of the day, which means early morning, and at the end of the night, and before the night. At the end of the night, by the way, means sunset, or like after sunset, al-asha, sorry, al-asha. So, establish the prayer between the 2 days, the two end of the day, the end of the morning, and the night, and the one between them. 3 prayers. So obviously you don't follow the Quran. And all Muslims, with no exception, they translate it as a prayer. And you know what? Arabic is my first language, and the word salat have one meaning. Just one meaning. Prayer. Salat have one meaning. Now salat is coming from other words, yes, but salat as a word have one meaning, which means a prayer. Salat is coming from the word sila, which means you communicate. But the word salat, it's a prayer. As simple as that. Doesn't have any other meaning. You're mine.
Brother, I know what I'm telling you sounds strange because you've been raised, and like you said, it's your first language, so that's what you were taught, and that's what you believe. But like I said, again, show me an example explaining the word salah, not the word salah itself. Show me where the word salah is given as an example of what you say it is. Because when I get home, if I get home in time and we're still around, I can show you the verses that I see that actually give an example of salah and what it means. And that way you'll see where I'm coming from. When it's talking about established salah at the two ends of the days, that goes along with the verse that tells us Allah gives us the day for us to do our business and the night for us to sleep, right? So you should be establishing the ways of Allah, what He teaches you about all the rules and things of being a good person from the point you wake up to the point you go to sleep. That's what it's talking about. That's what it's all about. And when you practice that way, because what is the purpose of Islam, Christianity, Judaism, any of them. What is the primary purpose that they all teach about? Is it about practicing some ritualistic practice of being established as Islam and following all these little rituals? Or is it about being better people, being good people, treating everybody fairly, equally, rightfully, not cheating people, etc., etc.? All the things that Allah tells us that we need to do. Those are the things that get us to heaven, right? Those are the things we have to do to go to heaven. We have to believe in God, do good, and be charitable. Those are the things that are constantly repeated in the Quran. There's nothing in the Quran that says I've got to do 3 rakahs and all that stuff. In the verse you said, establish salah, give charity, and bow with those who bow. So why would they separate that with give charity if that was telling you how to pray? That makes no sense, right? It's divided. They're separated. The bowing, it's what was the exact words of that particular verse? It was, Sujud, right. So, it would be bow with those who are humble. Because that's 2 different words. You see what I'm saying? You talk about me mixing it up. When you read the Quran and all the translations, it's terrible. Terrible translations. So I've had to go and start looking up the Arabic and studying it and figuring it out. That's what led me to my understanding. That's what led me to find out that I was being misled by the translations themselves. That's how I recognized that people were being duped to begin with, to believing that this was a religion and not a way of life. That hadith has corrupted everybody's understanding. That they focus on the hadith instead of learning the Quran themselves. They follow these imams and scholars and everything around like sheeple, like sheep following the sheep herder. They don't look for themselves anymore. They're taught not to. It's too difficult. Stay away. Let the imams do it. Let the scholars do that. They're the ones who have been going to school and studying. Well, guess what? I rely on Allah, and I trust that God can guide me.
You are going out of the topic. Now listen, guy, did he say let the scholar show you? Did he say that? He's rambling now. Did he say let the scholar show you? Okay, show me one scholar agree with you. Show me one scholar agree with you. At-Tabari. Okay, well, just wait. How come none of the scholars agree with you? You are different Muslim from the whole world? Like what? You just came from the moon yesterday and you are a brand new Muslim and you do not believe in anything? In chapter 4, verse 102, it says, if you can pause it for us, Mikey, it's long. And when you start the prayer, one of you, they are going to take their arms to protect them. So when they bow down, they will be in behind you. And when another group of you, they did not pray, they will do the same. They will take their arms and wait. If you are doing dua, you do not need to put down your arm. Dua is simply saying, Allah, hey, help me. You do not need to put down your arm. You do not need to take off your shoes. What translated? I'm reading Arabic. You do not know Arabic. This is how funny you Muslims are. You do not know Arabic. You don't accept the translation, and yet you are telling me that it's not correct. So in the front of the room, what the translation you read it from? Give me one accurate translation you like, and we will go with it. Is that fair, guys? Is that fair? Give me a translation you accept. I'm not reading translation, I'm reading Arabic. It says it clearly, when you pray, when a group of you put down their arms so they can pray, the other one will hold their arm to protect you. Wait until you are done, and then the other one will pray. So why you need to put down your arms? If I have a sword in my side, I can say, Allah help me. I do not need to put down my arms. Unless it is a prayer, needs certain movement, certain things. I have to bow down, I have to go down in my knee, I have to put my head down, and this is why I need another group to watch. so the enemy will not come and kill me. Because if you are standing up and your enemy will see, you know, you see the enemy, there is no need for somebody like two groups. So simply, you are coming with a false statement, have nothing to do with Islam. And what do you mean Islam says be nice to everybody? Where do you get this from? Even the Quran says in chapter 9, verse number 23, even your father and your brother from your blood, you can't be friend with them. Your father, imagine, the one who married your mother, the one who feed you until you became a man. Even your mother, even your brother, even your sisters, if they are not Muslims, you cannot be a friend for them. So what do you mean be nice to everybody? Charity? What charity? What charity? The charity of Muhammad, where we attack the neighbor, we take their money, and then we give it to the Muslims. Oh, we have a poor Muslim here, give him some money, give him some of the underwear we stole from the Jews, our neighbors. Give him a TV, you know, the TV, the small one, give him to this poor guy. He's a poor Muslim. We killed the Jew to take his TV. This is the charity you are talking about? What do you mean it doesn't say Muslim? It says your father. What? It says they are people and unbelief. They are kuffar. What's wrong with you? So look at the hypocrisy of this gentleman. I'm not insulting you, Muslim. Don't take me wrong. I'm just telling you what you are doing. We ask him what translation you read it from. He say all translations are wrong. So where do you read it from? Do you speak Arabic? Muslim, do you speak Arabic? Can you read this verse for me in Arabic? Can you read it for me? Unbeliever? Unbeliever is unbeliever. It's not a Muslim. Guys, define what unbeliever. A second ago he said it doesn't say not Muslim. Now he's saying define what unbelievers. What? Come on, man. Are you taking hashish? Unbeliever is someone don't believe in your God and believe in your Muhammad. That's it. Yes, we don't believe in Allah and we don't believe in Muhammad. Thank you very much. So even if I am your father in Islam, you are not allowed to have a relationship with me. So what do you mean charity and be nice? If you can't be even friend to good to your family, your brother, the one who is from your blood, he's your brother. He don't want to kill you. He's your brother, your father. No. You cannot be a friend for them. Those are your enemy. What do you mean false? Post for him again the verse, guys. Read it. Chapter 9, verse number 23. Read it for us yourself, your mic. So what if he says that? Because he's a liar. This is a proof that he's a liar. Because in this verse he said we will go to heaven, and then he says you don't. They are najis. Najis. And there is tons of verses in the Quran says the Christians and Jews they will go to hell. Because your prophet is a hypocrite man. Because if the Christian they will go to heaven, well, how come they will go to hell? It cannot be they will go to heaven and go to hell at the same time. Like what, 6 months in the hell, 6 months in heaven? Your prophet, when he was weak, he was a hypocrite. He told them, you will go to heaven, don't worry. Then when he got an army, he want to kill everybody. As simple as that. For he's a false prophet. Now we go back to our topic. Chapter 9, verse 23. Give me the accurate meaning for it and where you got this from, your mind.
Well, just to address the topic at hand that you left with, in regards to what the difference of a believer and non-believer has nothing to do with whether you accept Islam or not. That particular mindset of the way you're thinking is a hadith-based way of thinking, and it's completely false. Absolutely false. 100% false. And Allah tells you there are
Just a second. Isn't it your God in the Quran? He says, and the deen inda Allah Islam, and the religion for Allah is only Islam. So are you saying to me Allah is a false God? God, did he say that Islam is not the only religion? Did he say that? Did he say there's nowhere in the Quran it says that if you are an unbeliever doesn't mean you are not a Muslim? You don't have to be a Muslim? This is what he said. But the Quran says, just wait, Islam is to worship Allah and to believe in Muhammad, and he's a prophet. Do you want me to teach you the pillars of Islam, Abdul? If you don't believe in Muhammad, you are not a Muslim. You have to believe in all the prophets of Allah, including Muhammad. And you believe in Allah. And you have to say the Shahada. And the Shahada have two names only. The name of Allah and the name of Muhammad, because you Muslims are mushrikeen. You commit shirk. You associate the name of Allah with the name of your prophet. A man name? What do you mean? What do you mean? Shahada is even exists in the Quran. Don't tell me you do not know it. Even Allah, he takes Shahada. So listen, when Allah, he says, the religion for Allah, the belief for Allah is Islam. You are saying, define for me what unbelief mean. Will Allah define whoever deny? The Quran says in chapter 9, verse 29, fight those who don't believe in Allah, or the last days, or the Prophet, or Islam, from the people of the book. Fight them. Why? Because they are people of unbelief. Shahada with Muhammad mentioned. So you are saying to me the Shahada the Muslims they do is false? Is that what you're saying? Okay. So when you became a Muslim, what the Shahada you said? What the Shahada you said? Can you tell me your mind?
Again, you're basing everything off of hadith. I don't follow hadith. So when we're talking and when you're asking me things, you have to think about what you're asking me about first. If it's hadith based, I don't follow it. I don't believe in it. I don't utilize hadith as my deen. Okay? It's not what I understand because the Quran speaks completely against hadith. I'm not supposed to be using outside sources to establish my deen. I'm supposed to follow what Allah gave us to follow, and that's the Quran. I don't worship Muhammad, and I don't idolize Muhammad. He's a messenger, yes, but I don't treat him any different than any of the rest of the messengers. All of them were prophets, and all of them came to us, and I treat them equally just as Allah tells me in the Quran to do so. I don't celebrate the birthday of Muhammad. I don't do all the crazy stuff that idealistically is established to him because they practically worship him now because they've changed it using.
Obviously, you are a Muslim who been bought from the free market. God, did he say he don't favor a prophet upon a prophet? Did he say that? Did he say that? Okay. Well, how you explain to me the Quran saying that Allah himself, he favor a prophet above prophet? Chapter 2, verse number 253. You're mine. Allah himself, he says, those are my messengers and I favor some above some. You're mine. He's dead now. I think I did hit hard.
That's for Allah, not for us, we the people.
So the Quran is for you or for Allah? Allah is saying the statement to you, or is he saying it to himself? What the point of saying to you, I favor, it's mean if he favor, you favor too. If Allah himself, he favor messengers above messengers, that's mean he favor and you follow Allah blindly. This is not hadith. Who am I?
Allah is just explaining to us what He's done, but He doesn't want us to idolize them and worship them, which He's explained many times in the Quran in several verses.
Don't change topic. We're not talking about this now. You see, you keep jumping from a topic to a topic. Obviously, and by the way, what kind of Muslim you are? Until now we don't understand, because the Sunnah don't agree with you. The Shia don't agree with you. What is your religion? Correct, guys? We want to know what sect you follow. You want to tell me you are a Muslim? There's no such a thing. No, there's no such a thing. Every Muslim have to have a sect. You have to follow a school of thought. Even your prophet, he is a follower of a sect. And I can prove it to you from the Quran. So what is your sect? Okay, who is your teacher? Who is your teacher? What do you mean Allah? You don't understand Arabic, so how do you learn from Allah? Do you know Arabic? You do not know Arabic. Well, don't tell me you study. How you follow Allah if you do not know? So study what? Even if you study Arabic for the coming 60 years, you will not learn Arabic. In order to understand the Arabic very well. This is not English, my friend. Like you can read, you can write, but to know Arabic really, that will be impossible. You have to start from a very early age in order to be like the same as an Arabic speaker like me. You see, even people who are born in the Middle East, from an Arabian family, still they don't speak good Arabic. No, you need to be fluent to learn, because you know the language barrier is a huge. You don't accept translation, so you have to translate by yourself. Arab who they are born in Saudi Arabia, they cannot understand the Quran today, because the language of the Quran nobody uses it no more. It's the same as the English of Shakespeare. So what do you mean you will understand yourself? What do you mean they don't read it? People of Saudi Arabia don't read it? No, they read the Quran. They have interpretation of the Quran, not of the Hadith. So obviously, you know nothing about Islam. I think you are a victim of Islam. Let me ask you, Muslim, as long as you are a person who go and you understand by himself, which one Allah created first? The trees or the sun? According to the Quran, not Hadith. Guys, is that a fair question? This is very easy. Which one Allah created first? The trees? Trees, you know trees? The one have a fruit, apples, orange, you know? Or the stars? The sun, the stars. Which one Allah created first? Very simple question. What do you think? Can you give me an answer? As long as you understand the Quran without Hadith. Allah mentioned in the Quran which one comes first. So what do you understand from the Quran? Are you thinking? Are you asking your friend with you in the car to search Google? Which one Allah created first? The trees and the substance of the earth, or the sun? What do you mean you do not? This is in the beginning of the Quran. This is in the beginning of the Quran. The first chapter in the Quran is Al-Fatiha. The second chapter is Al-Baqarah. In the second chapter of Al-Baqarah, it says, in chapter 2, verse number 29, this is in the first page of the Quran. You are telling me you did not study the first page of the Quran? So what you are studying, the index? Somebody post for us chapter 2, verse number 29. Chapter 2, verse 29. Here we go. It is He who created for you all that is on earth. Then He lifted Himself to heaven, and He fashioned 7 heavens. So what is created first according to this verse? The earth and whatever it is in the top, or the sky and whatever it is in the sky? He's scared to answer. He's scared to answer because he knows that this Quran is a rubbish book. Which one? Okay, you can answer. Okay, what do you mean driving? Okay, take the mic. Answer me. Which one, according to this verse, created first, the earth and everything in the top of it, or the heaven and whatever inside it? Your mind.
You have to wait a minute. I'm on the freeway. I'll get back to you in just a minute.
All right. Don't kill some people, man. Focus on driving. I thought you have your friend with you. Let him jump behind the steering and he drive. You know? Suddenly you are, so what in the freeway? Freeway is empty. It's late now. There's nobody is driving. Yeah, well, Muslims can do everything. Muslims are multitasking. Jibreel is with them. Like the Prophet, you know, the Prophet, he used to be between the legs of his wife, but he received Quran. That's multitask. You know? That's not easy. So as you see here, the Muslims, when you corner them, suddenly they dump the hadith in the. Do you know why he dumped the hadith? Anyone ask himself why? Those Muslims today, they want to dump the hadith in the trash can? Because it's a disaster, it's disgusting. They could not accept that this hadith is speaking about this prophet. Correct? This is why they run away from the hadith, because it is really crazy. They could not handle it, how ugly, disgusting their prophet in the hadith, and how stupid he is. So they decide to get away from the hadith, and trust me, soon they will dump the Quran. It's coming. Soon the Muslims will gather from around the world to decide that there is many verses in the Quran is not true. So we should take it off. And they will do it. Actually, already the Shia, they agree that the Quran, big part of it is not from the Quran. Already the Shia agree. Well, the Shia, they agree Uthman is a mushrik anyway. The Shia, they believe Uthman is a mushrik, Umar al-Khattab is a mushrik, Abu Bakr is a mushrik, Aisha is the devil, etc. You know. However, the Shia, they have their own hadith. So the Shia, they dump the hadith of the Sunnah, but they have their own hadith, which is a lot more horrible. You stop? All right, so let us go back to the question then. Chapter 2, verse number 29. According to this verse, which one Allah created and finished first? The earth and whatever in the top of it, or the heaven or whatever in it? And this is the verse again, as you see in the front of you, your mind.
Based on the translation that Mikey posted, thank you, Mikey, for posting that. According to that, you would say that he created the earth first and then the stars around it or the heavens around it, according to that verse. And, in fact, by that particular translation, by the way it's worded, you would see or think or you would imagine that God was on earth looking up, creating the heavens up above. And that's in its translation in itself, because Allah is all-encompassing, would not make sense.
Abdul, stop telling me according to this translation. Give me the correct translation. You are being, seriously, I'm not insulting you. You are being really dumb now because you have to give me the correct translation. Correct, guys? This translation is garbage. Here we go. Dump it. Okay, we'll put it in the garbage. Please, guys, delete it. Give me the correct translation. You might.
Again, I'm still in my car. I am parked for the moment because I wanted to try and answer your questions and make sure you knew that I wasn't quote-unquote running or whatever it was you were saying, dropping my friend off at work. So I apologize. I don't have that in front of me to do that for you. But hey, it is what it is. When I get back to the house, if we're still around.
What do you mean? We can give it to you in Arabic. You want to give it to you in Arabic? Because either you are going to translate for us or you are going to read it from someone translation. Correct, guys? So if you read it from translation, tell us the name of the translator you like. We will post it for you. If you read it from Arabic, we will give it to you in Arabic. I will give it to you. What do you want? You might.
Shiloh, there are a lot of translations. Believe it or not, there are quite a few. I basically go down and break down and look at the Arabic word for word to the translation. So
what do you mean you look? You can look down right now. What do you mean you look down? So you don't trust the translation. There's not even one translation you can give us. I said I will give you Arabic. What do you mean look down one by one? I'm not asking you to look down 10 by 10. Look down right now, one by one. Do you want me to give you the Arabic font of it? You might.
etc., to grasp the full meaning of the words. But if I'm not going to be allowed to talk and finish my sentences, I don't know why I bother. Mike's free.
Because you're exposed. You will look for the roots of the word where in the translation. You are going to look for it in the translation. You do not speak Arabic, you do not know Arabic, you don't accept translation, but you will find the meaning of it in the translation. Solve this issue now, this dilemma. I don't accept translator, but I'm going to look for the meaning of the word in the translation. Muslim Mike, I advise you to leave this cult right away. Trust me. I spend my life studying it. I invite you right now to accept the Messiah as your savior. Muhammad is nothing but a gang leader and a scumbag. I'm not insulting. I'm just saying the truth. It was a cult? You agree Islam is a cult? You agree Islam is a cult? Do you agree? Because I can show you hundreds of contradictions in this book. But what you practice was, what do you mean what practice? I'm not a Muslim. I'm talking about Muhammad. I'm not talking about the Muslims. Muhammad himself is a cult man. Have you ever heard of a person, he say, I'm a prophet, but he says that Allah himself pray on me and salute me? And not only this, guys, do you know what Muhammad he did? Anyone knows? Something really big. Anyone knows? Muhammad, he changed his name from Qasim to Muhammad. Do you know what Muhammad mean? Muslim Mike, as long as you are learning Arabic, do you know what Muhammad mean, the praised one? So he claimed to be God. When a man, he changed his name from Qasim to the praised one, he is trying to say, I am Jesus. I am the praised one. I am the divine on earth. This is the devil. This is the devil on earth saying, I am the praised one. This is why you see Muhammad, this is not his real name. Muhammad, his real name is Qasim. And then you will see that he have names. As an example, one verse in the Quran says, my name is Ahmad. What Ahmad mean? The praised one. What Muhammad mean? The praised one. No, not though. Please, there is no need to use it. Muhammad, he is using the name of the praised one because simply he is a cult man, and not only this, he's satanic. The praised one. People in this world today, they praise one person, that is the devil. You don't have understanding, you have nothing, you are lost. I can tell you have no idea. You do not know what is your religion. You do not know what you are following. You do not know what translation to accept. You do not have any knowledge in Arabic. And you cannot trust Muslim translation. And you cannot trust what Muslims do. So what are you? Simply you are just someone who surrendered to Allah without knowing who's Allah. He might be a moon god. He can be a kitty cat. He can be a cartoon. He can be not exist. You do not know, or what you know, that this is a book you cannot read, you cannot understand what you believe in it, but what is inside the book you do not know. There's a verse speak clearly about the Muslims. In chapter 62, verse number 5, I will give you the mic. The Quran says, it is the similarity of those who carry the Torah is the same as a donkey who carry books. With my respect to you, Muslim, you are now carrying a book, but you cannot read it. That's exactly your situation, your mind.
Thank you, CP. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your opinion. Trust me, I'm not a judgmental person at all. And I appreciate your input. But let me ask you a quick question. This is my turn, please, if you don't mind. And please let me finish before you cut me off. What I believe and what I understand, I believe there's one God. There's only God. Whether you want to call him Allah, whether you want to call him whatever name you want to call him. I call him God, personally. Because I don't speak Arab. I know him as God. And everything I've learned in the Quran, for me, teaches me to be a better person. I treat people fairly. I'm good to my parents. I'm fair to everybody. I don't cheat anybody. I treat everybody with kindness. I'm charitable. I give and I help wherever I can to anybody. It doesn't matter what religion they follow. That is me, and that's what I've gained from this book. If that's not the example of what we should be, doesn't matter what religion I'm following, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, whatever it may be, if that's not the example of what we should be doing as people, then does it matter? If I've gained that from this book for myself, can you not be happy with me for that? Because I don't do all the other junk that everybody's been posting. I don't follow all the other junk that people have been posting. I don't believe in practicing pedophilia, and I don't go out terrorizing people. In fact, I was in the United States Navy for 20 years before I came to Islam. And I was a Christian before this. But the answers that I found in the Quran that taught me to be a better person than I was then, I got from the Quran. So that's all I wanted to say. If that's what I've gotten from this, and where I'm at now in my life, then I'm okay where I'm at with what I've got from it and what I'm learning from it. If I saw anything derogatory for myself, or I'm learning something derogatory for myself, I'm going to question it. But I personally haven't found that. So that's all I wanted to make a statement and let you know, and just ask you about real quick. Mic is free.
Well, sir, I really appreciate what you're saying, sir. But due all respect to you and your choice, because people have a choice to live in the way they choose, And nobody should judge a person for their choice, but just give you the truth. There is one standard of those who follow Jesus Christ, and that's holiness. That is Romans 12, verse 1 and 2. Jesus Christ is the only one that can forgive you of your sins. Romans chapter 10, verse 9. If you click on this right here, which is not a website, it'll show you how you live holy. Where it says about Christ is not a website, click on that. See the first one? That first URL, click on it. And when you click on that, it's going to come up in your browser, and it's going to be blinking on and off.
Ned, with my respect to you, he cannot see any link in the room. It's only you see that. Secondly, we don't want to change our topic. Muslim, listen carefully. You said the Quran teaches you to be a good person. I don't see that. I believe this is a big fat lie. You believe in it. I don't know where you get this from. If the Quran says to you, you cannot even be, well, here we go. I gave you a verse, very clear. You cannot be even good to your parents if they are not Muslims. Guys, don't you think it's evil to be not good to your father and your brother? You cannot be friend with them just because they are not from the same religion? Prove me wrong. I just gave you a verse. For someone, he is your father. According to Islam right now, you said you used to be Christian, as you said. I will believe you. According to chapter 9, verse 23, you cannot be good to your father. You cannot say Assalamu alaikum to your brother. He's your enemy. So what do you mean Islam taught you to be a good person, to everybody, a nice person? Where do you get this from? Where do you get this from? Isn't it the Quran in chapter 5, verse 51? Sorry, chapter 5, verse 14. Allah, He said, I'm going to spread hate and enmity between the Christians. That's your duty. Your duty as a Muslim to spread hate and enmity between the Christians. So what do you mean Islam and Quran teach you to be good? The book who teach that is going to spread hate and enmity between the Christians is a good book? How come Jesus did not say, I want to spread hate and enmity between the Jews, or between the Muslims, or even between those who don't like me? What kind of God he wants to spread hate? Isn't it the Quran said, قَاتِلُوهُمْ يُعَذِّبُهُمُ اللَّهُ بِأَيْدِيكُمْ? Fight them, Allah will punish them by your hands. Allah order you to punish us by your hands. What do you mean you have to be nice to everybody? Here we go again. We go, what is a believer? Quran says what is a believer. Chapter 9, verse number 29 say clearly, fight those who do believe not in Allah, or the last days, or His prophet, or what is given to you, the truth, which is the Quran, from the Christians and the Jews, specifically. So anyone who don't accept Allah, and we don't, anyone who don't accept the last day, we don't accept the last day according to Islam, no way, and we don't forbid what Muhammad forbid, and we don't believe in his book, and we don't believe in him as a messenger. If you don't believe in that, you are not a believer. Don't tell me define what believer. Believer, the Quran says clearly, the believer is someone who follows this. This is why we have to wage war against them. So if you don't believe in one of those things, Muhammad will wage war on you. If you don't believe in him as a prophet, he will wage war. If you don't believe in last day, he will wage war. If you don't believe in Allah, he will wage war. Any of those, you have to fulfill all those conditions. Then you are a believer. If you miss one of them, you are not. In the name, just forgive me, please. I will give you the mic to Muslim again. He's our guest, and he's driving. I hope he will be okay. You know what, Muslim? Add me to your list. Add me to your list, please. I am really, I feel sorry for you. I'm not insulting. Honest to my Lord, the Messiah, my Lord, my Savior, I feel sorry for you. You are badly deceived, my brother. Guys, do you remember the guy who go in the ABN TV? What's his name? Anyone remember him? Our brother, the African American guy? Anyone remember him? He used to come like this, not like this guy, to argue with me. He was a convert. No, the host. He go as a host. He used to come in, in my room to argue with me. And one day I was doing my show in ABN. He called and he said, I used to go, and then I remember him. I used to go to his room and used to argue with him. He wanna bring me to Islam. He wanna convert me to Islam. So Muslim Mike, he is a poor man. I'm sure he's a good guy. He have a good heart, but he been deceived about the beauty of Allah and how nice is Allah. Yeah, you wanna show you what Allah is? What do you know about Allah? Actually, do you know what the word Allah means? Muslim? Do you know what the word Allah means? Very simple question. You believe in Allah. What Allah means? Do you have an idea? Your mind. Muslim, are you there? Are you there? Well, maybe he's busy. Take the mic in the name of God then.
Thank you, brother. I hope the voice is coming through. Well, any Muslim who claims that he or she is a peaceful Muslim, it's to me it tends to be very hypocritical when on every Friday prayer you pray, "Oh Allah, give us victory over the Qawmil Kafirin," meaning Allah give us the victory over the infidels. On every Friday prayer you are praying the destruction of the infidels, where Muslims will be conqueror over the infidels, and you say that you are peaceful, you don't want to hurt anyone. It just don't. Yeah, they curse. You're exactly right. They curse the infidels, and then you say that you don't want to hurt anyone. You don't have any animosity against anyone. Then every Friday prayer you pray to Allah to destroy us. Just think about it when you say these things. As Brother Christian Prince said, that you have been grossly deceived. I don't know the circumstances why you have been deceived. What were the circumstances? Was that your wife that led you into it, or I don't know who led you into it, but anyone who studied Islam, without being biased, knows how evil it is. And by the way, Muslim Mike, I'm a convert from Islam to Christianity. I live in an Islamic country. Okay, beloved, there are many people like me, those who studied Islam and know how evil it is. Islam is only kept because of terror. If in Muslim countries there will be freedom today, majority of the Muslims will leave Islam. Islam is kept by terror. Even the Quran commands, to strike terror in the hearts of the infidels. Well, I really hope, Muslim Mike, that you do stick around with Brother Christian Prince there. And before I relinquish the mic, beloved, we have nothing ill against you. We just want to share what is right to you. Just think about it, Muslim Mike, when you go to do the salat, If you claim that you are such a nice person, you don't hurt anyone, you do charity, why do you pray for the destruction of others, those who are not Muslims? With that, mic is open.